Hello guys, thank you for checking out the new episode of the Devlog. Last month I continued to work on the pathfinding system in my example scene. In the last episode I showed you that I defined the walkable area on a plane with a static mesh. And I reworked this with the help of the geometry script plugin, and now I can easily define spline points on a plane to create the area. This has the advantage that I don't have to keep a static mesh asset lying around in my content browser for each and every floor, and it has the advantage that I can make changes to the shape at any time, which was not possible with static meshes. The next point that was still missing is obstacles. In other words, defined areas within a walkable area that are not allowed to be walked into. Let's assume there's a hole in the floor right here, and the character should automatically walk around it when we click on the other side. A new function on the walkable plane blueprint now allows me to create an obstacle area that can be easily defined using spline points too. And now all we have to do is recalculate the connections, and we can already see the area that cannot be entered. And when we test it and make the calculated paths visible, we can see that this is working nicely. Now let's assume it's not a hole in the ground, but a barrel that's standing here. For the pathfinding system, everything stays the same, but when we test the scene, we have a problem with our sort priority, because the engine does not know which sprite should be rendered first. And that's the next point I've taken care of this month. Using the translucency sort priority property in Unreal, we can tell the engine in which order the sprites should be rendered. So I came up with the solution that every sprite in a scene has an origin point that can be moved around to define a clear position in the scene. And depending on the plane the sprite is on and the Y position of the origin, a number for its sort priority gets calculated. And since this calculation is done in the construction script, it even updates directly in the editor, like you can see here. So now I can place objects inside of the scene and define the obstacle areas and the origin points, and the pathfinding system and the sort priority system is working fine. So after defining the walkable areas and the obstacles, the last important areas that need to be defined are click areas, or hotspots. They work similarly, but need to provide more functionality because they are going to be responsible for many important game mechanics, such as interacting with objects, talking to characters, picking up items, and so on. I've created a blueprint that will be responsible for all this later, called BP Hotspot. I can drag and drop it into a scene and spawn a click area connected to the hotspot. I can give it a name and create interactions, but I'll talk about that in the next devlog. And so that you can see that you are hovering over a hotspot, I started to work on a first basic cursor with some small animations. And now it looks like this. And I think it really starts to feel like a point-and-click adventure now, and so far I'm very happy with it. Next, I started to work on some higher level things. In Unreal, you quickly stumble across terms like game mode, game state, player controller, game instance, HUD class, and things like that. And at this point, Unreal and Unity are very different from each other. And I had to get used to the fact that so many stuff is popping up in my outliner that I didn't even create myself. But I think I'm slowly figuring out what it's all about and how I can use it for my game. In fact, I already set up a lot of things in the background, but to be able to show you exactly how these systems will work together in my game, a few more things still need to be implemented. And that's why we talk about this in the next devlog. For now, I wish you a great start into December and a great holiday season. Please don't forget to wishlist A Pretty Broken Adventure on Steam, and I hope to see you back here on January 1st in the new year. Thank you so much, everybody.